subscribe, welcome to Red Snap, and my name is MJ, and today we are going to be reviewing A Blink in Time Season Pass. So kicking things off with Blink, actually I should really explain, this is the first one I'm doing of these, so welcome, hello, if you're new please subscribe. In future I'm going to be doing ones for the new season, one's for leaked cards, so I'll have the Deadpool leaks coming soon, and I'm also going to look back at the star ratings that I've given in retrospective reviews as well. Anyway, kicking things off with this first one, this is for the A Blink in Time season, this is the May season, and the season pass card is Blink. Blink is a 5/7, she was changed from a 5/6, actually, and then she was a 5/6, which was changed from 5/7, so she's been flip-flopping before she's even come out. Anyway, she's an on reveal, swap the last card you played with a higher cost card from your deck. As you can see, my star rating is already on the screen. I think this card is absolutely incredible, 5 stars. This is definitely going to be a season pass worth going for, in my humble opinion. I mean, I go for them all anyway. Nothing will ever stop me getting the season passes, but this card is crazy. Just first and foremost, the stat line is decent, 5/7. You're not going to be too upset with that. But her power is just incredible. I've got some of the key synergies on screen here, which includes Electro. So you play Electro on 3, you can then play Blink on 4. Swaps Electro into your deck, so you're then getting rid of the downside of playing Electro, which is the fact that you can only play one card. That's no longer true. And then you're pulling out a 4 cost as well, which is just outrageous. And then my other synergy is a 4 cost, which is Absorbing Man. So, I'm going to be very interested to try this particular thing, right? Electro on 3, Blink on 4, and then Absorb if you happen to... Hang on, let me get this right. Yes, Absorbing Man, so Blink, Electro goes into your deck, and then you play Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man should put Blink into your deck and pull a 6 cost. Now, on turn 6, you could play Grandmaster on Absorbing Man, and then I think that's going to make Absorbing Man go into your deck, which could, by this point, pull Blink, who would then swap Grandmaster out. So this chain is just going to be so much fun. This card is going to be super fun to experiment with. You'll see that I've also got a replacement on screen here. I mean, I say it's a replacement. For some of these replacements, if there's truly no valid replacement, then I won't put anything in here. But for this particular one, Lockjaw is the closest I can think of. You can pull off some of the similar things. You could put Electro into Lockjaw, get the benefit, but not the restriction still. So there's that similar kind of synergy. And also, this is very much like a ramp card to me. So you're going to be playing this with certainly Jubilee, I think would work well with this, and your other typical ramp cards. Corvus Glaive possibly. The only downside with Corvus Glaive is that if you do play Corvus Glaive and you've got Blink in hand, you might discard Blink. So, yeah, anyway, I just think this is outrageously good. Super strong. I mean, you craft your deck around this and you're pulling out a specific thing. So, yeah, very, very strong. Highly recommended. 5 stars. Moving on to the card that is coming out alongside Blink is Nocturne. So, this one is going to be in the Spotlight caches. I've given this 4 stars, as you'll see. So, I'm a little bit hotter on this card than I think a lot of other people are. I think people are possibly slightly underestimating her move element and how good that is. Now, some of the synergies you can see on screen there, I've got Craven and Ghost Spider. They did recently post the developer update video, and they confirmed that, Nocturne does trigger every time you move her. So you could play her out, and then if you play Ghost Spider, you pull her to that location and she is going to change that location, and then you can move Nocturne and change another location, and then maybe you've got Doctor Strange thrown in the mix, you can change that location. I think Nocturne is actually going to be absolutely crazy fun. If you like chaos and fun, yeah, I think it's going to be wild, because you can let's think about this, you can have games where you're going to change locations multiple times. So you can play Iron Fist before her, Ghost Spider after. You can move her with Doctor Strange. I mean, things like Heimdall, just for absolute final turn chaos. I mean, throw bounce in the mix, so throw beast in there, and you can get all of these triggers all over again. So she's definitely going to be crazy. But from the actual good, like, is she good element, the reason I've given her 4 stars is because she only costs 1 more than Jeff. And yes, Jeff can get into locations that Nocturne won't be able to, but there won't be many that she can't get into that he can. Like, it's basically just, is it miniaturized lab and like Professor X, pretty much the only ones. So Nocturne can get into like Sanctum Sanctorum and all these things, and she's a 3/5. Like, she's a premium cost stat line. She can move, which is an incredible ability. I mean, just look at Vision. People play Vision outright just as a 5/8. And he's only Nocturne is only a few power less than Vision. So yeah, I think she's really cool. I think she is powerful, and I think she's chaos as well. You can see the replacement there. I've suggested Spider-Man just as another 3/5 that will move independently. So yeah, I think Nocturne's really cool. And by the way, I'm getting her. I am opening caches this week because I'll get 4 new cards along with the season pass cards. So I'm very excited. Moving on to Sage. Wow, there's hardly any water in there. Moving on to Sage. Sage is a 3/0, and I've given her 3 stars. She's an on reveal +2 power for each different power among all other cards here. So the key synergies here I've suggested Mr. Negative. That's obvious because she's a 3/0, so she's going to flip to become a 0/3. So she'll be a really, really good final turn play. One thing that Mr. Negative can struggle to get outside of Iron Man is, outside of your Iron Man location, if you happen to not have pulled Mystique, and even sometimes when you do, it can be difficult to get a lot of tool power in a second location, unless you've got things like Null and Zola and whatnot. Sometimes in those games where you don't have the Mega, like you didn't draw Jane Foster, and you've only got a few cards that you can play off of, maybe you did pull that flipped Iron Man, you can struggle to get a lot of tool power in one other location, and Sage is going to be really good at that, because she'll be flipped to a 0/3. Don't know if she triggers off of herself, actually. She may do. But so that'd be a 0 cost, so she instantly goes to a 0/5. And if there's even just 1 or 2 other cards there, she'd be like, easily get up to like 0/9, 0/11, etc. But one of the other key synergies here is White Widow. White Widow is a 2 cost card who adds a 0 cost card to your opponent's side. And obviously she is a 2 cost herself, so that's already 2 cards in one which are different costs, which is really cool. Like, that works super well with Sage. Not only that, because of that, but also she is a 2 cost, so you can play her on curve into Sage, or I should say Sage on curve after White Widow. And then Sage is like a 3/4 then, which is shit. Actually, now I'm saying it out loud. Yeah, don't do that. Actually, that is shit. That actually is bad. But you maybe if you played a 1 cost in the same location on the first turn, maybe Nebula, then Sage is a 3/6, and that actually is good. That actually feels pretty worthwhile, even just as that. But you know, if you obviously leave it later to the end of the game, she can get really high. How high can she actually get? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so feasibly there could be 7 different costed cards in other spaces, and 7 multiplied by 2 is 14. So she could be a 3/14. So she's good. She's good. I mean, that is literally best case scenario, which is also like horrifyingly unlikely. Actually, she's like fine, basically. And there is a decent replacement for her, which is just Wolfsbane. Vaguely similar, you know, a single location tool card that's an X-Men female, and sort of Wolfsbane is easier to actually trigger the effect of, although the ceiling is lower, obviously. So she's fine. Moving on to Namora. As you can see, I've given Namora 3 stars. She's a 5/5 on reveal. Give +5 power to each of your cards alone at another location. So, a very potentially difficult to achieve set of circumstances. She's a kind of card that potentially you might need to build a deck around, although she's not actually that bad. Even if you just have one location with one card in, she's really not that bad. That is a 5/10, which is kind of premium stats. The more I think about this, the more I like her, by the way. But let's talk about some synergies. So Wong is an obvious one because she immediately becomes a... I'm so bad at maths. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. With Wong, she's a 25. She's a 5/25. Is that for real? I'm like, honestly just starting to like, as I'm filming this video, just starting to like her more. Anyway, so obviously she works really well with Wong. And I saw someone on Discord. Sorry, I saw someone on Discord suggest Colossus. So I had to put Colossus in synergies there. Because if you do Wong and Colossus with Namora, Colossus is going to be a 13 power card that crucially can't be destroyed. So that's really cool. I also kind of enjoy the idea of something like Nimrod with her. If you've got a turn 7, I like the idea of playing Nimrod out and then playing Namora, getting that extra power, and then obviously destroying Nimrod up. I'll say I'll probably try that. I mean, I'll try that in like 6 months when I eventually get Namora, because I won't be opening for Namora. But other things, like, she's obviously an underwater one, so they want you to do things like Namor and Orca, but I think that's too easy to Shang-Chi. Like, you can't armor, you can't Cosmo down, because, well, actually, you can after you play them. Not on Orca. Well, you sort of can. Alright, it's all just bad, isn't it? Basically, some things are bad. Probably don't build a deck around her. But she might actually be good, and she might be... This one's hard to actually rate. I'm sort of like convincing myself that I like her more than I thought I did. Is she incredible? Let me know in the comments. As you can see as well, I have put for the replacement. There's nothing. She's unique. She is unique, and that is a gift in a way. So, moving on to the final card of the month. It is Sasquatch, and it's possibly the strongest in my humble opinion. So this is a 5-star card. It's a 6/10 in my humble opinion. It's a 6/10. Costs 1 less for each card you played last turn. So this is absolutely... I mean, this is just incredible in my eyes. This seems very versatile, very flexible. You can put this in any deck. If you have, like, even if you just play one card on turn 5, this is like a 5/10, which is just like, you're only skipping turn 5 in like an Infinite deck, right? So in any deck, she'll be just default good, like in any deck. However, when you start building into the playstyle and the synergies, so the synergies here, I've got a Mysterio and Mockingbird. If you Mysterio on turn 5, I mean, you've got 3 more energy, so presumably you're doing something else. You could Black Swan alongside Mysterio. That brings Sasquatch's cost down to 2. It brings Mockingbird's cost down to at most 2. So you can play both of those. That's 19 power, and you've still got 2 energy left over. And in my proposal, I said you played Black Swan. You've then got unlimited energy, although not spaces, but unlimited energy to spend on 1 cost. So that could be Martyr, other cards that are 1-drops, maybe Rocket Raccoon, loads of stuff. Like, this for me is just like absolutely ridiculously good. I wouldn't be particularly surprised if this gets nerfed at some point, to be perfectly honest. I think it's crazy. I do really want her. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get her though, because later in the year, some spoilers and some leaks have shown that there's a load of Spider-Man and a load of symbiote cards coming out, possibly in back-to-back seasons. So I basically need to save as many Spotlight caches for then, because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. But yeah, it's going to be hard to pass this one up. I don't know. I've also said as a replacement, the nearest thing really is Mockingbird. So Mockingbird is both a synergy and a potential replacement. But pretty much unmissable, I'd say. Like, if you can open caches on this week, I would certainly say you should do, because, like I say, I think she'll honestly fit in anything. She will never feel bad in anything. If you get her from the locations that generate cards, like, add a random... I'm sorry, I don't know why I just did that. Like, don't be disrespectful to the game you love. Yeah, like if you get her from the location that adds a random 10 power card to your hand, you're going to be absolutely laughing. You're going to be busting her out really early, like often. And then it's Shang-Chi bait, so then you can start playing with Armor and Cosmo. They get those things down, you stick down Armor and Cosmo. Yeah, and I think this is going to be a incredible imbalance, as I sort of implied earlier. Even just with the things like Mysterio and Mockingbird, you throw in Hitmonkey, Black Swan, and then all of the crazy wonder like Hawkeye and Rocket Raccoon, Beast and Falcon. All the cards that feel good to play multiple times. You're going to smash all of them down multiple times, smash them all on turn 5, and then you're just going to have an absolute joke of a turn 5 with Mockingbird, Sasquatch, Hitmonkey, basically giving you 3 massive power in all the like you're going to be unstoppable. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, this was the first video I've done in this format, so if you've got any feedback, let me know in the comments below. That'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.